Hello, everyone. You are welcome to Anchor Network, where you get reliable and authentic news that are so crucial to you. I say big thank you to everyone who has been part of this channel and who has taken time to subscribe. And if you are yet to subscribe, I say please click the red subscribe button and also the bell icon. The bell icon will allow you to get notified anytime we publish any news. Buhari suggests taking SIPs away from Osinbajo, gives reasons. President Muhammadu Buhari appears to have confirmed the transfer of the control of his administration's Special Intervention Programs (SIPs) from the Vice President Office to the newly created Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development. Mr. Buhari hinted at the change Tuesday morning during his National Independence Day broadcast amid indications of a simmering crisis in the presidency. The SIPs include the Homegrown School Feeding Program, Government Economic Empowerment Program, N-Power, Trader Money, and direct cash transfers to the poorest families. The programs have an annual 500 billion naira budgetary vote. To institutionalize these impactful programs, we created the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, which shall consolidate and build on our achievements to date, said Mr. Buhari. Apparently, explaining the transfer of the programs to the new ministry headed by Sadiya Farouk to the beneficiaries of these programs, I want to reassure you that our commitment to social inclusion will only increase. One of the programs, Empower, deploy thousands of unemployed graduates to fill inadequacies in public services in education, health and civic education with 30,000 naira monthly benefit. It is the country's postal work for cash social program to address the challenge of unemployment. However, like others, it comes short of fitting into the standard definition of conditional cash transfer (CCT), contrary to the government's boasts. CCT programs transfer cash to poor households based on the condition that the beneficiaries demonstrate pre-specified investments in the human capital of the members of the households, especially children. In other words, they are not just for the recipients to use for clothing and feeding, but also to combat wider effects of poverty and social problems a country faces, such as low school enrollment rates, poor rates of vaccinations for children, gender disparities, and malnutrition, among others. For instance, in Bangladesh and Cambodia, CCTs have been used to drive a reduction in gender disparities in education, the World Bank reports. In the case of Nigeria, however, there are no conditions that beneficiaries of social programs need to demonstrate. For instance, enrolling their children in school to tackle the country's notorious problem of a high number of children out of school. Hmm. So guys, one thing about all of these things is that all these programs are there, and I don't know, it was there was a time when the president's wife came out and said she was speaking for her own people, that the effect of that program could not be felt among her people, that a lot of women couldn't benefit from that. People were now asking if at the president's wife's level she's coming out to say that, then how much more other people like me? I have never seen anybody you know getting all those benefits they are talking about. Of course, they are good programs. They are very, very good programs that if really they are being followed, or they are being tackled thoroughly, if they follow them accordingly, I'm sure it would have been a better thing. But for the president's wife to have come out to say this program, she didn't benefit from it, the people from our area did not benefit from it, can we now then say she was making it up, that she didn't know what she was talking about? many people like that coming out to say the same thing. The only thing I just saw people collecting was the 10,000 naira during election time. During election time, and before you could get it, you must show your what is it called? This a voter's card for you to be able to collect that money. And the whole thing was not just done orderly. And they were telling us, oh, they are going to, it was they were borrowing them some money. Oh, no, honestly, the whole thing was just upside down. And I think that's one of the reasons, we are having problems now. Even the vice president, he needs to clear that area. Of course, most of the problem we are being faced in this country is, somebody, they award a contract that a road should be done or a place should be tarred. And at the end of the day, the government will be seeing all of these things. The money must have been dispatched. The money must have been budgeted for. And at the end of the day, nobody, you will see, the road will still be there. Are you telling me they didn't see, they are not seeing it, or they've not seen it, or they've not heard it? Even if you have not heard it, then what are you doing? That, okay, people have been given job to do so and so. But when it comes to trying to look for people who are, on social media, who is testing what, who is, making some whatever comments on social media, they will try to tell you they want to follow through, they want to see what and what is happening in that area. But things that are very visible to us, they will not go through. They will not go and check. They will not go and even find out whether the project was carried out or not. Everybody will behave as if nothing happened. And the money, and people will be complaining. And no, there will be no kind of investigation. It has always been right from beginning. And that was why the president's wife came out and was complaining about all of this. If she can be complaining at her level, then what do you expect other people to say? When people come out and say, oh, we didn't see anything, we didn't enjoy anything, where and where did it happen? They will like, oh, it's like you are just hater, or people don't just want to give credit to the administration, that they are just trying to dent the image of the administration and the president. That's what I'm still emphasizing on. If the president's wife could say our people did not benefit from that program, then what are we talking about? All these are good programs, but did they really get down to the people that really need it in the first place? We talk about a fight against corruption. Are they fighting corruption? Because now when the president's wife came out and made mention of that, no investigation was carried out up until now. And it's been like over 6 months, 6 or 7, 8 months that she made that submission. No investigation to tackle with what she has said. So how do we move forward? How do you expect people to believe? Because they will just come out and read rhetorics. Oh, this and this and that. Beautiful speech that the president made when he went to UNGA in New York. But at the end of the day, we don't see all of those things on ground. They are not real. It's just for, oh, we are going to do this, we are going to do this, we are this, we are that. We've budgeted 500 billion naira, and yet nothing happened. And yet people are getting poorer and poorer every day. When we talk about poverty, it's on the peak. And at the end of the day, they will tell you that they have budgeted this money for the so numbers of people, or for these categories of people. And the people are not getting it. Even if few people are getting it, how has it transformed their lives? That's another thing. How has it changed the narratives? How has it changed the poverty level? If few people are getting it, can they come out and say, okay, we have been able to enjoy this thing, and it's going to be for a very long time, or it's going to be yielding results, as time goes on? Even the few people who have collected such a benefit. But now it's like, of course, maybe that is one of the reasons why they want to really get rid of the program from the office of the vice president. We know that a lot of programs is being heading. They've tried to reshuffle the whole thing. I think that's just the essence of this thing. Maybe they have seen that the thing is not really working out. For him to be heading the program, they want to try to transfer it to some other place, whether it's going to yield results at the end of the day. So that is just my own opinion concerning. I'm not even talking, or I'm not even concerned. I'm not even bothered about who is going to head the program or who is going to be in charge. That is not what we are talking about. Whosoever that is going to be in charge of the program, let them, check everything thoroughly and see through whether those things will be, we get to the hands of the people who they are already, who they are meant for. Not that you just say, oh, this and that, oh, 500 billion, 1 trillion naira. And at the end of the day, people don't see it on ground. People don't see it. People don't feel it. If really that money that was budgeted for such program, I'm sure a lot of people's life would have changed. The economy would have been boosted to a very large extent. But what do we see? Nothing. And people, they don't want you to say anything. They don't want you to talk. They don't want to talk. They don't want you to talk or say anything about that. And that's why we are having problem concerning people who are speaking up on what is happening. Someone says, good step. This will create room for transparency and accountability in the appropriation of the budget allocated. You are making a change because the cabal don't want a pastor and other ethnic in this present government, Abi. Everybody will start translating it the way they understand or interpreting it the way they want. All we need is good governance. That's just it. Whosoever that is going to head the whole thing is not the problem, but let us see what is being done and let them follow through so that it will get to the hands of the people that really need them. Not that at the end of the day it will be diverted to some other people. That is what has been happening before now. Before you know, everything will be diverted and some people will be feeding fat. It's very, very unfortunate. Why say you suggest when you have already decided in a closed door meeting? Pa Abakiari, really better than Osinbajo gallivanting all over the place. The new Ministry of Humanitarian Disaster Management and Youth Social Management should be headed by Mr. Festus Keyamo as substantial minister, and the woman should be the minister for state. That's end the program. That ends the program. Somebody believes that maybe in as much they are going to remove it from the vice president's office, that is going to end the program. We don't even know. Someone say, I beg, this VP academic should just resign before he will be disgraced as VP special duty or VP Aso Rock chief attendant, since all portfolios have been withdrawn or henceforth withdraw from him. And they laugh. Nigeria's money must push all of us and force una to start talking. We have not seen anything. That is good for the political pastor. So what is important here is that if he wants to resign, good and fine. If he, of course, I'm sure he's comfortable with it. Nobody is going to tell him what to do. But what we are concerned about is that whatever you say you are doing, let us see it, because what you have done in the past, we didn't feel it. We are not feeling it. And that's why I'm just trying to still bring the statement made by the president's wife concerning this social investment program. She said our people did not get anything, and a lot of people have been complaining about that, and nobody could accuse her that no, you are just trying to dent the image of the administration of the government. After all, the man, according to, is her husband. So nobody, people, all those people that always say, oh, wailing wailers, they couldn't even attack her then when she said it. But if you try to be other people, they will say, no, you guys are just trying, you just want to believe what you want to believe, and you want to see what you want to see. Even if when you have good things before you are still going to deny it. Those are the things that they will be telling you. And in the recent, people are not seeing all of those things. But when it came to the issue of the president's wife, nobody said anything. They couldn't say anything. And up to now, no investigation has been carried out. If you are going to reshuffle the whole thing, but what we are talking about is that let people who really need this social investment program, let them benefit. It shouldn't be diverted along the line, due to corruption. So guys, that's just my opinion. I would like to hear from you what you think about this reshufflement of this program to another portfolio or whatever. Leave your comments below in the comment section. Thank you very much. Bye.